Well, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I'm here tonight to share a recipe with you that I just tried out, and I was surprised. I was really happy about it, and here's why. I love pancakes. I always have loved pancakes. Well, I don't know about always, but I just remember liking pancakes. And so I made some regular pancakes, and they were delicious. They were thick and fluffy, and we put the syrup and butter on them, and I ate a half of one, okay, because I just treated myself. But I had some sunflower seed flour. Hey Gail, thank you for joining me. Somebody else is on here, but I can't see right now who it is. Hit the love button when you get here. Tell me where you're from, where you're posting from. I know, Gail, you're from Vidalia. Okay, but I had this, and I had tried to make some cookies with it before Christmas. It is sunflower seed flour, and it's from the Think, Eat, and Live company. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to make pancakes out of that. Hey, Tracy, how are you? Okay. So I never make the whole recipe of pancakes just because we only needed 2. And honestly, you see we had 1 left because they ended up being big. I like a big, thick, fluffy pancake, but I like a bigger pancake, okay? All right, so they're just easier to cook and flip and get done. But I thought, okay, I'm going to cook those regular ones, and then I'm going to cook these sunflower ones. I use the same recipe, except I use sunflower seed flour instead of regular flour, and I'm going to show you the comparison in the carbs, okay? And I used monk fruit. This is monk fruit sweetener instead of regular sugar, and I used baking powder. That's okay. It does not have any carbs. And that's the difference, is the flour. All right, so so here you can see this was the plate we had when I finished. So this is the sunflower flour pancake. And so my daughter and I, we ate together, and we tasted it, and I'm like, that's not bad. My experience with almond flour pancakes has not been good. Now, if yours has been good for you. Coconut flour maybe a little bit better, but almond flour for me in pancakes just didn't do it for me. I haven't tried cassava flour yet, but this I can do. I enjoyed it. All right, so what I've got here in this bowl is the sunflower flour. It's really sunflower seed flour, okay? And the monk fruit, and then you just beat up an egg. So that's like a half a recipe there, half of a recipe. So I'm just going to beat this egg up, and then I would put a portion of it in there. I wouldn't put the whole egg because the recipe called for 1 egg, and that's for 1.5 cups of flour. And I only put a 1/2 cup, so this is 1/3 of the recipe. So I'm not going to put the whole egg. You probably could, it might be fine, but these are big, nice, beautiful eggs. And then it calls for 1.5 cups of milk. So you could substitute to get the carbs out, and I'm going to tell you how many carbs in a minute. You could substitute a 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and water. So that's going to make the right amount of liquid, okay? Or you could use almond milk, which would be fine because it has, you can get the no carb or low carb kind, okay? And then of course you're going to have salt. You're going to have baking powder, so you just whip that up and you pour it in your pan. I'm going to tell you a secret about making pancakes, all right? So when you get your pan not too hot, and you put your oil over in there. Oh, and the recipe did call for some butter. So 3 tablespoons of butter, so that's about 1 tablespoon. So I'm not going to mix all this up because I've shown you the finished product, okay? So, but if your pan is hot enough, when you pour it in there, it won't go all out to the edge of the pan. Same thing with an egg. When you're frying an egg, if your pan is warm enough, now you don't want it too hot, it'll burn it, but when you crack that egg, let your pan get warm enough So when you crack that egg turned out perfect. I love that. It's not going to run out in your pan. It's going to stop because the heat is going to hold it. It's going to cook it and it's going to hold it. Okay. So so here's what I did is I melted some butter and I poured some maple syrup in it and I poured it over the pancake and we ate it and we had a piece of bacon, an egg. And so I tried to come up with how many carbs, because carbs is what we're looking at, because carbs is what makes your blood sugar go up, all right? The carbs is what spikes your insulin, makes your blood sugar go up, causes your body to store fat. And if you've seen my demo with the hey John, hey Mildred, can't see who else is on here. Thank you for joining me. If you see my videos, you know that the amount of carbs you need in a day or in your blood at one time is about a teaspoon. And most people are eating 30 to 35 teaspoons of sugar a day, all right? So what I did is I figured up in a 1.5 cups of flour, there's 150 carbs in 1.5 cups. And in 1 tablespoon of sugar, there's 15 carbs. So that's this right here. In a 1.5 cups of milk, there are 20 carbs. And that's the carbs in the recipe, all right? In this recipe with the sunflower, there's 42 carbs in a 1.5 cups. There's 12 carbs and a tablespoon of monk fruit, and I didn't use as much as it called for because I didn't want that many carbs. And then if you're using the heavy whipping cream in the water, there's going to be 1 gram of carbs, maybe 2, in the whole in using the whole 1.5 cups of milk. And then of course your egg and your baking powder has none, and your butter has none. All right, so total carbs in 1 pancake on the left side, and I had to refigure it. So 150, 165, 185. So half of that, we're just going to say 90 carbs in 1 pancake. 90 carbs in 1 pancake. And that's not counting the maple syrup. So your maple syrup, I didn't add that in. Your maple syrup in 2 tablespoons is going to have 27 carbs, all right? And maple syrup is an optimal food because it's a natural sugar. It's not like sucralose and fructose, okay? In this side, so remember I said 90, so let's just say if you put maybe you're going to put 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, that you're going to have like 110 carbs in just a pancake, all right? This side over here is going to be 32 carbs. So you might say, well, if I want a pancake, I want a pancake, but I can settle for this and be happy with it. 1, because I'm not putting any gluten in my body. I'm not doing anything toxic to my gut, okay? I'm putting a healthy sunflower seed in there, and I'm going to enjoy it. And it's, it's going to be good. It's something that I could be happy with. So I want to just encourage you, there are options besides the almond flour, because like I said, I'm not crazy about the almond flour. Oh, and I left out, I did put some real salt in there. If you're using salt, you want to use real salt. This is the brand. It's called Real Salt. It's mined in Utah, and it has minerals in it. And if you look at it, you'll see the little brown flecks in it. So that lets you know that you're getting something good. Now, I want to tell you about something that I'm going to be doing next week. Okay, so I've kind of always got, I'm always doing research about, your body and how to be healthy. And a lot of what I'm focusing on right now is your immune system, getting your immune system up to fight off whatever comes your way, whatever it is, whether it's just a simple cold or a virus or sinus infection or, usually that comes from something you're allergic to. But if your immune system is strong, then you're not going to have so much problem. So you've seen me last November, I got on and I did several nights where I talked about the Numi product. Well, Sunday and Monday night, I'm going to be doing this again, but I'm going to give you the science behind why these products work. And it's glutathione but it's also the nanotechnology that is involved with this product. So let me just say, if you want to get this recipe for the pancake, I'm going to send it out in an email probably in the next couple of days. And I want you to put your email in. If you're already on my email list, you're going to get it anyway. But if you're not on my email list, I need you to message me your email, or if you want to put it in the comments, that's okay too. Or you can text it to me, 293-1427, 912-293-1427. But I think you're gonna want to get this recipe, because I think it's something you will enjoy as just as a treat. It is more carbs than you would normally eat in a day, but if everybody else is having pancakes, you're gonna want to have pancakes. Okay, so join me on Sunday night. I'll let you know the time. I'll be posting some announcement about it, but you don't want to miss this opportunity. I have had, just in the last week, I think I've had 5 people that had started on the product to text me or call me or notify me and say, I want more. I want to keep this in my body because of how it's making me feel. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you for joining me. Share this video so somebody else can hear this good information and learn something they can do to help themselves. So y'all have a great night, and we'll talk soon.